Alright, so everything should be good. Alright, so this is how we're going to do this. If you don't know who I am, I'm Sean, secretly a sliver. Current PB is 125.18. And we are reviewing Dr. Blue, who is currently gunning for sub 90. I will try to keep on topic, but I do tend to ramble a bit. So feel free to fast forward if I start going into things that only shave a few frames and you don't really want to deal with that. So, all right, so good start there. Definitely want to be on a one character name. It doesn't save as much time as I initially thought it did, but yeah, it's still a free time save. Yep, just mash anything till Link jumps out of bed. All right. So just very minor. You're kind of like half pumping here, which is fine. It's better than not pumping at all. Um so Link's walking animation, he starts when he's going left, goes 2 pixels. So as you'll see on my screen here, I'm at 973 right now. But if I go 1 frame left, I'll go 2 pixels, and then if I go another frame left, I'll go 1 pixel. And then 2 pixels, and then 1 pixel. That's different. If I'm going down, you'll see I start at 17B. And then this should take me to 17C, and then E. Yeah. F. Yeah. So, when you're going left and up, Link goes 2 pixels on the initial frame of movement. Every time you change directions, it resets Link's walking speed, which means that this game runs at 60 frames per second. So optimally, you want to be mashing that button at like 30 frames a second to get optimal pumping. I don't think humans can press a button at 30 frames per second, so just hammer away on that button. As long as it doesn't interrupt your movement at all or make you overshoot anything, just go ham on it. Alright, so you did overshoot a little bit here. So you end up overshooting here. It was probably better to try to go up and then up left. There's a chance that either this guy aggroing to you gets in your way or this guy gets in your way, but honestly, losing the half a second here and then using your iframes to come up through here is better than going all this way out of your way to dodge everything. Because, I mean, you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're like 5.5 tiles out of your way here. That's a lot. That's more than half a second. Don't get me wrong, it's bad RNG, but knowing how to mitigate it is a lot more important. Yeah, look at how far behind you are on your PB versus your current run. Like, that's all from that courtyard screen. Yeah, so you actually went way too far there. You can tighten up this movement a lot. like, you can get really close to this guy and still get out of the room faster versus how you get it. Something like this, which still looks good, but is like 10 frames slower. So just you've got the correct first movement down. Just make sure you're getting as close to this guy as you can. Which I'm kind of messing it up here now, but I want to make sure that you get that guy as close to the door as possible and that you're not wasting your time going super wide like this. See, that looks good, but it's slow. Even this suboptimal... Sorry, this, like, is not going to drop the key in the optimal spot, but it's still a lot faster. So just get as close to that guy as you can. Let's see that again. Yeah. So for this room, I'm going to make a save state. So for this room, you just want to jump off, and then you want to go like one step down, and then you want to start going down left. Like that. So this is how it looks live. Essentially, you're just aiming to get on... You're aiming to get on this diagonal right here. So that you clear the edge of that pipe and you can go down. So jump one step down and then go to down left. Okay. That was a good room. Just a little bit of optimization here. You want a diagonal here until you're below the pot, and then you actually want to go on this line right here next to this pit. But make sure you're not going to nudge off of this thing. That said, it doesn't really save much. It's a handful of frames at best. So I think most people's strat for this room is to just come over here, avoid the guard, and do that way. Pretty sure they diagonal to that wall. They do this. And they do that. I like wall pumping against the right wall and then saving the diagonal for here. About the same amount of time. Yeah, what you did though was not great. What you did. Okay, you do something similar to what I do, I guess, but just look at this guard's position whenever you're here versus like when I get to the same spot. So yours is a couple move cycles down. So keep to the walls and do your long diagonals and you'll be fine. Okay, that just looks like you messed up. Okay. So I see that you're using bumpers to cancel this text box, which is fine. What I would recommend though is when you get to the end of this text box, you can just press right to cancel it, and then you can just go right into the boomerang from that. That's just going to make sure you don't move to the right like you do here. Actually, let me check something. Yeah. Yeah, so you pretty obviously just messed up the green guard thing. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that. Just release the spin faster. For this room, it just a very minor thing, but if you upright to this wall, then you get a little bit of a speed boost. It's only a couple frames though. Yep, it's the right thing to do. So one thing that would have benefited you here. So your first slash is going to tank off of his ball and chain, or that slash is going to tank off of his ball and chain. That's going to happen. That's just on a frame rule, and you can't really predict very well if something like that is going to happen. So, but what I'm going to recommend here is when you do get those tinks, keep your sword out. Like, keep your sword out and then stab him. Like, you'll notice if you're looking at my inputs here that I'm holding the B button until the game makes me put the sword away. Which gets into a little bit of trouble sometimes, but it will help you through those tinks. Now that I want it to happen, of course it won't do it, but yeah, if you hold the sword a little bit longer, it won't get put away if you tink off of him, and then you can just use your forward momentum to stab him. You took a knock, which is fine. Didn't exactly kill him in a great spot, but it's good enough. Same deal here. If you diagonal to the wall, you get a couple free frames. All right. Let's go back here. So, oh, I thought you could go frame by frame with this. Well. Hmm. I must be tripping, because... Alright. So, this is... Alright, that's the frame by frame. Cool. So... You're gonna come out of this door, and Link's gonna kick his feet for a couple of frames. Alright, so you're out of this door, you have control of Link here. Oh, I see what happened. Okay, so you did try to cancel stair drag, but you didn't hold the button for the right amount of time. If you're canceling stair drag to the right, you have to actually hold it for 2 frames, and it looks like you only held it for 1. So you get stair drag here. And you can see the stair drag because Link is just like kicking his feet in place like this. But yeah, cancel stair drag to the left, because you only have to hold it for 1 frame to the left or 2 frames to the right. So for that room, here, if you just go to the right here, I get a 927, 29, 27. Versus if I just ram my face against this, I get the same time, but I'm better off. I'm better off because I'm further up. We're not listening to that. So yeah, smash your face against this. Just do an upright against this, and you'll go a little bit faster. Okay. I think it's actually better to upright to here, but not jump off, and then jump off the right side, just because you get this little bit of diagonal movement, and diagonals are always better. Yep. Yeah, probably don't bonk that statue, otherwise that's fine. Okay, so something here. Once you're like even with this guard, you're good to just diagonal in front of him because he can't outrun you. He doesn't run as fast as you. Sometimes he can catch up and like poke you with his sword, but most of the time you're just gonna outrun him to the door. But here, what I wanted to mention is you actually change directions twice here, and that's not good if you're moving down. You wanna limit the amount of time that you change directions when you're going right and down, because of the walking cycle that I showed earlier. You don't want to be resetting your position to 1. So just be mindful of how many times you change direction, because you're going to go 1, 2 there. And actually it was 3, because releasing the button also counts as a direction change. So yeah, just be mindful of the amount of times you're changing direction when you're going right and down. Left and up, it doesn't matter. You can do it as many times as you want. Moving diagonally on stairs is significantly faster, even for this one tile staircase. It's significantly faster to move diagonally on stairs. It's like 1.25 pixels per frame faster. I think it's 0.75 pixels per frame versus 2. So it's like over twice the speed. Okay, good. You made the bat stay where he was. Yep. Pumping in the water isn't as precise, but you still want to put as many 2 pixel movements on the screen as possible. All right. So for this, you have the right idea, but like standing there waiting for the key to drop isn't really helping anybody. What I would do is just slash the guy, and you know where this key is going to spawn, so just throw your boomerang and go. Doesn't really matter if you throw it too far and clink the wall or the torch; it'll catch the key on the way back as long as you don't deviate. So test that out in the prac because you can get real silly with it, throwing your boomerang off screen and then having it get to you like right at the door. Okay. Yeah, I like that movement. Um, so what FMG or even I think Fruit Bats tells you to do. Oh my god. What FMG or like even Fruit Bats tells you to do is to get on that left wall right away. But you don't want to get on this left wall right away because this guy might block you up here. And sometimes there's a guy in your way here where it just doesn't make sense. So yeah, you wanna just do that straight up until you see that the coast is clear, and then you can just diagonal to your wall. You miss out on a little bit of pumping that way, but you're not really pumping anyway. So yep, I like the YOLO. There is a way here to kind of cancel stair drag and kind of do a stutter step to make sure that this guy isn't going to come over and hit you. I think that's just a waste of time overall. Like on like it'll save I don't know, like 12 frames if the guy was going to hit you, but it saves a lot more than that if you just YOLO it and hit it. So good call. Just YOLO that. That guy's a jerk. So one thing here, uh you're at a heart and a quarter. So I would have tried to so you go to a heart and a quarter right there. No. Yes, you go to a heart and a quarter right there. So since you were up here anyway, I probably would have come and tried to get a deboost off of this rat because that would have taken you down to a heart. And when you're at one heart and you start beeping, you there's something that happens in the sanctuary text box called inquiry frames, and if your hearts are beeping, then that causes a sound glitch, which causes the text to run faster. I'm not 100% sure how it works, but like here in your previous PV video, you are actually at one heart, and if you put those two side by side, you should be able to see how much faster the text is scrolling in that video. It saves about a second. And if you're gonna be in here with if you're gonna be back there at low health anyway, it's kind of a nominal setup to save that second and mitigate some of that time loss you took by taking some damage. All right, so this screen, doesn't really matter where, but you definitely want to get along this row of bushes here. You have free diagonal space that you could be moving here. And then you actually want to get a little lower on this screen because there's a fence over on the next screen that you're gonna have to move down for, and you'll see in a second. So basically, you want to diagonal to there, and then this rock in the terrain right here, this one, you want to use that for your visual cue. You don't really want Link to go below this rock, because if Link goes below this rock, then the way that this guard loads, he's going to be coming toward you, and you're going to have to boom him. But if you stay above that rock, then he's going to be going up and down, and he won't bother with you, or he'll just notice you too late. All right, so, and basically you just want to be like right here optimally, because you want to be able to clear this fence, but you also don't want to put the guard in a bad aggro position. I believe I don't know if this is good or not. It looks low. Yeah, that's too low. So get onto here, and then you can bonk off this fence. a little bit, but it's a lot better than having to deal with a left-right guard. You're a bit too high here, so you're gonna have to, yeah. See what I mean there? Like, you just did 2 movement changes here. So you're walking along here. There you changed direction, and then there you released it, and then there you changed it again, and then there you released it. So you just did 4 movement changes, which slowed you down. Doesn't really matter much, but I like to correct myself. So if you're lined up with this fence right here, you're actually too low to clear the tree on the next screen, because this and the top of that tree are kind of aligned, so that if you're aligned on the bottom of this, you're going to bonk off the tree. So I actually like to fix myself once I'm clear of the fence. So just put your shadow on the dark green line here, and then you should just clear the tree. Doesn't matter that much. You can just do the adjustment here. I just like doing it on the previous screen. Yeah, that's not good. This is what we call anti-pumping. So you're doing a lot of pumping here, but since you're walking to the right, you're actually slowing your movement speed down by about half a pixel per frame. And if we just test, like, you transitioned at here, you started at 56 and then you stopped at 58. So you were anti-pumping for about 2 seconds there, which is 120 frames. So you lost like 60 pixels of movement by doing that, basically. Not necessarily, again, so you didn't lose all 60 pixels, but you lost a non-zero amount. Okay. So let's So you kind of went this way. That's 752 that way. I had the slash, but there's 738. Yeah. Definitely don't want to go to the left here. Because then you're transitioning further from where you want to be. Like, you want to be going to the right. So you want to stay as far to the right as possible. Now this is probably the best path. Like, it's a straight shot down. You don't bonk off of anything. All you have to do is focus on the Octoroks. Sometimes you'll have to move to the left if they get in your way, but it's... And the more important part is that it makes this screen a lot faster, too. Because now, instead of having to go from all the way over here, you would have transitioned right here on the cliff, and you would have been a lot closer to where you need to be. Yep. What rupees do you do? Saha? Actually, yeah. So I'm guessing you do Saha rupees, so booming that guy is optimal, because boom only takes 14 frames versus 17 to slash him. Very good. Okay. Let's test this. Because you should never take what people say for granted. You should always time things yourself. So your strat is to hit the switch, boom the guy, and go through, and that's a 444. My strat is to just walk around, and I get a 438. Some people slash him. That gets a 445. So that's slightly slower than booming, but just ignoring the guy and walking around is what I get the best results with. Now, there is a strat that you can do where you walk straight up to this guy. That wasn't it. Where you get really close to this guy, and then if you're close enough, you actually get what's called a quick boom, which saves a few frames. So that's what you'll see some people do. I think that was it. There, that was the quick boom. So sometimes you'll get the quick boom, and then that'll save time over walking. I'm most consistent with just walking around him. Yeah, just kind of do what you gotta do there. Yeah, that heart only costs 5 frames, so should probably get it every time. You didn't need that heart. You just lost like half a second getting it. Yeah, be a little more aggressive going for that pot, but you have the right idea to pick it up from the left side there. Okay. It looks like to me what it looks like is you're trying to just walk over here and see what the skeletons are doing. I wouldn't really care about what the skeletons are doing. That's the wrong Stalfos room. I would just go so that you're not gridded up. So if you want to be a couple pixels higher than this, so I'll just enter and I position myself like right there. And then just like kind of go for the pot. Most of the time the skeletons are going to move out of your way. And if they're in your way, you can just slash cuz you're going to have your hand on the button. Yeah, it seems like you're just kind of afraid of what the skeletons getting in your way, and you don't really have to be. Yeah, and that dodge was kind of excessive, but... Yep. Good path. Yeah, see, now you're pumping. Now you're pumping a lot better. Just smash that thing like it owes you money. It's always faster to go to the left side. Just a shorter path. Like, you can see that the door is kind of offset to the left here. And then, combined with the fact that you walk slower going right than left. Even if you have to get this guy out of the way, which in that position you don't, but even if you have to get this guy out of the way, going to the left is just a shorter path. You also, when you enter this door, You're kind of smashing your face against the side here. What you should do here, once this is open, you need to align Link to the door, and then, like, basically you just need to nudge Link to the left just a little bit so that he's aligned with the door, so that you don't get these frames right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you get like 5 nudge frames here. Now, 5 frames, you may say, whatever, 5 frames, I'm not worried about 5 frames, but this is 5 frames on every single door. There are 550 rooms in this run. Not all of them have a door. I would say over half of them do, though. If you can save 5 frames in every single one of their rooms, you'll get sub 90 tomorrow. Okay. What I would do here is menu to bow a little bit earlier, just so you can see what this guy is doing, because you're reading him here, you're reading that he's going right and he's going left, so you're gonna have to do something creative to get out of here. So what I would do here is, once you get to the bottom of the stairs, once you have a better idea of what these guys are going to be doing here, you can now start menu, and then now you'll know, okay, the best thing for me to do right here is to slash this guy out of the way and then book it up here. Yeah, and then don't smash against this pot like this. Just go, just slide around it. Well, maybe that doesn't matter actually. The only thing is you won't be aligned with the auto stairs if you smash your face against it. And you'll have to realign yourself. It seems like a classic case of forgot what to do in the room. You did it right in your previous PB. But yeah, you want to stair cancel, you want to diagonal down to this spot, you want to pick it up from the top, not like you do here. So you do cardinal movement, which is losing time, and then you're also moving a tile farther than you need to here. Just pick it up from the top and then down left to this spot. So you pick this one up from the top, like that. And then if you do it fast enough, these anti-fairies won't touch. Whereas in your room, they crossed each other. That's just a way to time the rooms, those anti-fairies, because the anti-fairies are going to do the same thing every time. Okay, nothing wrong there. Good RNG there. You definitely want to spend a lot of time here. You got good RNG, which is great. I'm happy for you, but there's 9 different RNGs that you can come across in this room, and some of them can just lose you a whole lot of time if you don't know what to do. So 9 different RNGs are just basically each of the skeletons can choose to go on a short, medium, or long pattern. You kind of need to know how to deal with all of them, so that you're not standing in this room forever. You also, so you execute the room and it's fine, but so you actually walk slower. You walk about 1 pixel per frame with your sword out, versus 1.5 pixels per frame without your sword out. So, like, you have, what is this? One, two, it's like 3.5 tiles here that you're going to be walking with your sword out. Um, yeah, anyway. This is about 3.5 tiles that you're going to be walking with your sword out versus you don't really need to put your sword out until you're in the door. Kind of like that room in Escape where you don't put your sword out until you're in the door. You also want to be facing either to the left or to the right, and that's just a little bit of prevention, because if you go too far up here, you're gonna poke these guys, and then it's panic time. Okay. Looks like maybe a shot got eaten or something. Yeah, shot got eaten. Yeah, you barely got that first shot off, so definitely fire a little earlier. But very nice quick kill. Now the speed run begins. You're getting Saha rupees. You want to talk to him from the right side, just so you don't have to walk around him after you get the boots. I would pick up those bombs. You're already in the room, and there's places that you can use those. All right, this is another case of you're you're doing a bunch of walking with your sword out here that you don't necessarily need to do. Uh, so you're charging the spin here, which which is something you can do. And something that Flipeel used to do, but that's only because he has trouble charging spin speeds. So he would do like charge the spin speed over there, and then double and just be able to double pump up the stairs. But I dash here and then arm it while I'm on the stairs, and then run out. It takes a little while to get used to um when the stairs are going to release you, because it's not like the stairs don't actually end at the top of the stairs, they actually end slightly before that. So like you can see I like gonna bunk that a little bit. Yeah, that still worked even though I started going left too early. So it just takes some getting used to, and then you definitely want to take this path here, because if you do this and then this, it's just, if you remember geometry class, you know, this plus this is greater than just going diagonal. Shortest distance between 2 points and whatnot. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So, you watch here. you're going to tank off of this guard. So 66% of the time that's going to be fine, because when you annoy a guard, when you tank off of him or you kill something in his vision cone or you enter his vision cone, he has 3 aggro speeds that he can take. 2 of them are fine, medium and long are fine. You can outrun him and it doesn't matter, but if he quick aggros you here, then he'll go straight to where you are, which will make him go cardinal left, which then he's going to get in your way. So how do you avoid that? Well, when you do this screen, hold up left through the transition, and then you'll just miss him every single time. Or even if you do tank off of him, it doesn't matter. So the reason for that is that a slope dash can put you on one of 3 subpixels. It either puts you on 0, 40, or 80. And I think in this case, it can actually kick you onto the next pixel down, which is even worse. So basically what you're doing is realigning yourself with the cliff and making sure that you're actually up high enough to miss that guy. Alright, so you actually want to be... So through all these screens, I'm noticing that you're not holding any buttons. And every time Link drops his sword like that, that means you're not dashing optimally. You're not dashing on the first possible frame. So you're getting some idle frames there. So how you help with that is you just hold diagonals through every screen, and then as soon as Link moves, then you know you can dash. This gets rid of what's called human error frames, because you're not always going to dash optimally. But this will give you a visual cue so that you'll only ever lose like 1 frame. Right. And then the other thing is, if you're not doing unholy spin speed, this top route doesn't help you, it actually hurts you. So if you don't want to do unholy spin speed, which is the spin speed to the library, you actually just want to go down here until you're like right above the horizontal part of that brown path. And then just dash over. And then you want to dash through these bushes. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done this. Dash through these bushes, and then you want to cancel and kind of just... And then, obviously, you don't want to hold your sword because you're not spin speeding here. Dash up as soon as you can, and I think you dash here, dash here. That seems fast. Yeah, you're way overshooting this dash here. It's hard to cancel it optimally. You only want to cut this, and then you want to dash turn down and get this slope dash. Dashing on slopes is the only way that you can dash diagonally, and of course, going diagonally is faster because it's a shorter path. So you wanna come through to this first bush. Sometimes you'll cut the second bush, but it's fine. And then you want to go down and hit this slope here. And then this slope also may boost you to the left by a pixel, so those pixel boosts can add up. You want to, you want to pump harder on ladders. I'm saying you only get 1, 2, 3. Seems like you're only pumping to the right also. You can double pump on ladders. Uh, this will be easier to demonstrate like this. So, see how fast I'm pumping here? That's how fast you want to go. Humans cannot hit buttons at 30 times per second, so just go ham, and you can't like overshoot too far if you're on a 1 pixel wide ladder or a 1 tile wide ladder. So just go ham on it. Okay. You dash down a little farther. Optimally you want to go like right below where these bushes are. Like you want to be up here because there's no reason for you to be all the way down there. You're like a tile and a half lower than you need to be here. Yeah, so this tank, just like the one before, won't matter. I think 66 or 50 or 33 or something percent of the some percentage of the time this tanking this guy's not going to matter, but there will be times where it does, and you don't really want to get knocked here because you can get juggled against the wall and lose a bunch of time. Okay, good menu. Um, I would try to not push down though out of that menu, just because of exactly this reason. Because you can pick up this bush. If you had just held cardinal right here, then you wouldn't have anything to pick up, and you could have just dash turned. Okay. So dashing through grass is 1 pixel per frame, or 25% slower than not dashing through grass. So you want to limit it as much as possible. Basically, this is your optimal dash line up here, because not only do you not hit any grass, but you also hit the slope. It's kind of dangerous though, because this bird does tend to get in the way a little bit. So I usually aim for this and try to mitigate as much damage as I can. You didn't actually need to nudge down there. You were fine. You can be super... You can be super high here. Like, you can be, like, you can be on these dark grass patches and still clear the cactus. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm aligned with the cactus right now. Pretty sure I'm aligned with the cactus right now. I don't think I can go any further. Alright, let's just get silly with it. There it is. Okay, so on 85 is where you can be. So 85 is the first pixel where you take damage from the cactus, so I can be on 86 and still theoretically be fine. No? Yeah. Yeah, so as long as you're like overlapping these two grass tiles right here, as long as you're overlapping them with your shadow at all, then you're fine. Like you have a bajillion pixel window to get through here, and any pixels that you don't go down are pixels that you won't have to make up later. Okay. Probably the first person to ever read the tablet like that. Literally never seen that before. Blah blah blah, extra text boxes are slow. Yeah, you need to get rid of that pot as soon as possible. The reason that we take the path that we do here is because this, whatever the hell this is, can't block you as long as you get rid of this pot right away. So you've been walking with this pot for over a tile here, and that pretty significantly slows your speed, so that's why you get hit like that. If you toss the pot right away, you shouldn't get hit ever. Okay, you had the right idea there. You just need to get the timing down a little better. Okay. I don't do that strat, so I don't know how to do it. But it looked right, so whatever. Yeah. You have to be able to recognize that these were going to block you. I mean, I guess it doesn't look like they're going to block you there, but like as soon as you started the room, I knew you were going to get blocked, so it's like see when you're okay. So you actually get so you start your dash there. You actually get control of Link fairly deep into the door. So you actually get control of Link there if you're not holding up, versus you didn't start your dash until like a few frames after you could have. So if you weren't holding up through this door, you could have dashed starting right there. Probably right there, actually. Basically, you just need to dash faster, and then you actually probably could have dodged that if you would have dashed at the right frame. Just a little slow, but. And then if you get hit, if you get blocked, you want to walk all the way down to the sand before you dash again, because then you'll be able to see what the cannonball pattern is, and normally it's fine. Very good. A lot of people try to dash there. Okay, you could probably squeeze a couple more frames out of that dash. So you're at 101 rupees right now. You actually don't have enough. There's a blue rupee in this pot. if you're ever in this position again. You have, what is it, 103, then you're fine, but you have 101, which is not 103. Yeah, this is another room that that you don't want to dash in. Oh, I think you did something like this, which is 352 versus just hold down right. Also get 352. And this is just infinitely easier. It's not that this is a time save, it's that it's an equal strat that's easier to execute. You don't lose time for the easier strat, so you might as well just do the easier strat. Okay, very nice. Yeah, these rooms are pretty straightforward. This is the first room that I wanted to look at. Yes. Perfect. Alright, and then you got your blue drop, which is nice. It doesn't 100% matter where you do that menu. I like doing it so you're dashing over, and then I don't do this route or strat or whatever, but because I'm already on lamp, I do the spin speed, so I use my menu there. But if you're not doing the spin speed, you kind of want to use your menu to cancel your dash. So you want to kind of dash over and kind of maximize your dash before. So you want Link to be like here. So I would put it like maybe there, like when Link hits this line, then you menu to lamp, and then you down left out of the menu to boom 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 boom. Another menu that doesn't 100% matter, but okay, wait, where were you here? All right, you're probably about a pixel lower than I would like to be. Yeah, you set it up right. You just didn't. Like that's a place you can do your menu. You can also just bonk off the wall and do it during the bonk, which is what I do. Yeah, your positioning looks fine, just maybe up a pixel. And you also want to be a lot closer to this guy. Just to make it faster to shoot him. Like, sure, if he goes toward you, then you're not going to lose time doing it this way. But by and large, you want to be on like the tile next to where the landmo is going to be. Like, if you were shooting this guy, it would be fine, but you're shooting to the left. And that was just kind of a bad jump anyway. Alright, so you got knocked here. So... okay. Yeah, that's just bad luck. Alright. So you get a lot of hits in here, and that's good, but by and large, you kind of want to try to not do these long shots like this. Now, in this situation specifically, you've got a guy spawning here and then a guy spawning here, so of course you want to shoot him. You want to shoot him, bop, bop, and then you want to go straight to this one. But by and large, you want to limit the amount of times that you're doing these long shots, because if you miss, then you have to wait until the arrow goes all the way to the edge of the room here, like that. Very nice. Good job keeping track of their health, because I definitely did not. All right, good fight. Good fight overall. Just don't let some of those things become a habit. And then yeah, you definitely want to be a little quicker on this menu. Like as soon as that heart disappears when you start walking, like right there is when you need to do the menu, because this pendant is falling this whole time. And you see where you did the pause here, it actually does. So the pendant is right here at my cursor. See how it didn't move? So you're actually wasting time there. Basically, when you do the menu, you want to do it when the pendant is all the way up here, and then it falls down to about here when you do the menu, and then it comes down. All right, everybody's favorite split. Oh, you want to go a little lower than that, just because of this nudge. That nudge right there. So you're doing that nudge off of that, and then like, yeah, you're getting a fairly long slope dash here, but yeah, it's probably fine actually. Just give that a quick test. That's a tough dash to do. Really tough dash to do quickly. What did you even do here? You nudged off of this thing, right? Yeah, okay. 1006. Versus 953. Yeah, so come down to where this little octopus guy is and just run over his eye. And you've got two really easy dash lines here. Don't have to worry about nudging, anything like that. Well, maybe it doesn't save time, but this is definitely a lot easier. And it severely lessens your chance of bonking off that skull or off the cactus or anything like that. Yeah, I saw you working on this screen one day, so probably won't have much to say about this. Yeah, that crab can be scary sometimes. That's not one of the times that he is. So here, all you needed to do was go to the right. Just like make the crab commit to this path, because he won't always. He has the same short, medium, long pattern things as most enemies do. So you didn't end up needing to get rid of him. I would just ignore him. Like sometimes you sometimes you're going to take damage from it, but the time that you save by ignoring him is gonna severely outweigh the times that you get knocked here and lose time. And then you wouldn't have had to like here you didn't necessarily have to cancel either, because this pickle was going up. You could have waited until over here to cancel. By that time, you would know if he's committing to this right movement or not. Yeah, so for the safe fake flipper, you definitely want to cancel here. But if you're good at going card from right to left, if you're good at canceling with a cardinal left, you can get as close to this bush as you dare, and then do your cardinal left, and then immediately switch back to cardinal right. Just make sure that you're not getting any up or down movement in there, or else you're gonna have to realign yourself. Oh joy! Right on top of the whirlpool, huh? All right. Probably just walk around that first pickle. Not really too much to say about this cave. Make sure you're not mashing too much, because you don't want to accidentally boom throw. So the situation didn't come up here, but if you end up swinging your sword and you don't hit the dead rock, you actually move at the same speed with sword out as you do when you're carrying the old man. So, it costs you nothing if you've already swung your sword. It costs you nothing, just keep it out. Yeah, then just pump harder, save more frames. Yeah, you're definitely overshooting there, because nice ledge hop. You're definitely overshooting that warp. There's a few different quick warp pixels. That's the one. That's the one that I look for. Basically, Link's shadow has a little notch in it, and you can see like one or two things of light pixels before the dark pixels start. This is what it looks like when you're facing up. This is what it looks like when you're facing down. This is what it looks like when you're facing to the right. And anywhere along this, like, vertical spot is fine. There's another quick warp right here. This is the one that, like, most higher level runners are going to shoot for. It's the fastest one. But it's kind of hard to get on in, like, a... At least for me, it's hard to get on. And it's hard for me to know, like, hey, you're lined up and you can go. But then this gives you diagonal movement up to the ledge hop, and that's kind of the optimal place to be. I still like this one right there, because I can recognize it very easily at this point. Am I losing a little bit of movement? Sure, but to me, it doesn't matter enough to change the entire screen. You, on the other hand, I believe went for the left quick warp, which again is fine, but you have to hit it. And that wasn't a quick warp, so. Not too much to talk about here. Try and maintain this dash for as long as you can. This one going up. Try and maintain that for as long as you can, because you're losing a lot of movement there. I'm gonna go through this. You want to menu before doing the chest, because the lag time from canceling a text box to when you can use the item is shorter than your start menu. Somebody told me that years ago. I don't remember who. Okay, nice. So you're good to go here. Kind of got spooked by the mini moldarms, but it's fine. Everybody does. Okay. I don't have any complaints about that. The only thing I'm gonna say is from the time you lay the bomb, you have more than enough time to slash and charge a spin. I'm just gonna watch this bumper skip and I'll show you what I mean. Went terribly wrong there. So, what you can do here, what you're doing, there's nothing really wrong with it. It's a common beginner strat. This is kind of like the intermediate strat, where you place the bomb and then immediately slash your sword, and then you have more than enough time before this bomb explodes to get to get on your thing. So here's how it looks live. So play around with that a little bit. You'll probably save a fair few frames by switching up the way you do that bomb jump. But like I said, you don't have to. Alright, so here the only thing I'm gonna say about this fight is that you never really want to be caught in that position. So like initially the fight starts fine. You don't really ever wanna be dashing up and down, because like you see that you have more time that you're inside of Wildorm's sprite, which gives you more time to get hit out of your dash, which I'm surprised didn't happen there. But when you do dash strats, you wanna limit it to left and right. You don't ever want to get caught in a position like this because you will get hit and you will get knocked off and you'll rage quit. But it's actually a decently fast kill time. Missed a couple of slashes, but is what it is. You'll get used to that fight the more you do it. Yeah, you seem to be struggling a lot on spin speeds. So I would definitely put in some practice time for those because you've missed a shit ton of spin speeds. And every time you miss, you're losing a second. Okay, so I'm not sure if you just overshot that. So even though you get Saha rupees now, okay, yeah, so you just overshot it, which is fine. Even though you get Saha rupees now, I like what you're doing here because you're taking the path of tree rupees. So if you're eventually going to switch, it's going to be less of a switch because you don't have to switch that entire screen up. Oh, your arms are short. You don't actually need to go onto the pedestal. So here, you just make sure you're in the right spot and you'll kill that bird every time. Oh, I can actually stand, like, right here and still grab the Master Sword. And you'll see afterwards that I'm not even standing on the stairs, so I don't get stair dragged, and I don't, well, I don't think those stairs are long enough to get stair dragged on, but you get the idea. It's just less movement. Yeah, that's not good. You really want sword beams for this dungeon, especially for the first couple rooms. And yeah, there's two ways to make sure that you don't get knocked here. Let's not. So here, two ways to make sure you don't get knocked. You either nudge off of this, or just keep, like, pretty tight to the edge of it, and you'll tink the guy every time. Which in this case doesn't matter because he's never going to aggro to you in time. Or you run to the other side of these hearts, and then you run up. And no matter which way you go, even though this is technically, like, even though this way is technically extra movement, it actually doesn't lose any time because you get dragged by the stairs, and it's the same distance to the door. Or if this does lose time, it's like a very minimal amount. So those are two ways to make sure you don't get knocked there. And yeah, good job. Good job realizing you need to farm the hearts, but I would have done it with these guys because you don't need to slash these guys twice. So yeah, this dashing up and then having to adjust and then dashing, and now you're going to need to adjust again because the door's up here. That's kind of slow. So there are two ways to do this room. Either you walk to the left of the torches and you just dash. That's gonna be consistent every single time. Or you can do like a little try hard dash here, and you can save a little bit of time like this if you get the right RNG. My RNG is locked here, so I'm always gonna get this RNG. But oops. Don't load save states when you're indoors. Then it'll just put you in a perpetual door. So this is gonna give me a different RNG. That's not the one I wanted. Oh yeah, that's 541. That's 540 now. So, all right. I don't remember how to save time on that screen then. I'm tryharding this and I'm not getting any faster than 534. So you can save a few frames this way, but what I would do is just go up that like that, and you'll get a nice consistent time every single time. You can get blocked if you try to go up the middle. That's why it's just so risky, and you're risking getting hit and losing a bunch of seconds in the next few rooms for 5-10 frames. So, not worth it to me. Where do I do it? Okay, yeah, I'm already on bow because I have to shoot stuff to get beasts. Alright. That was a poke. Yep. Yeah, so just release your spin earlier in the first room, and then you'll be good. That fairy skip was fine. There's nothing wrong with it. You can dash a little bit more in here, but that's if the only dash that you do is that one, then that's fine. You're only losing 15-20 frames max. You're losing more frames in this room by knocking against that pipe and waiting for this heart than you are not doing optimal dashes in the other room. So there is actually a way to get a key dash with sword beams there that you should probably learn. Just a brief thing. This is the last chance that you have to get rupees, and if you don't have enough, you need to get this pot right here. Alright. So this room with sword beams, you do kind of the same way as without sword beams, but you want to align yourself 1 pixel above that. You want to align yourself like that, so that the bottom of your shadow is on the bricks there, and then that's how you get your key dash. Oh, that's good. That's not it. Been a while since I've had to do this. Good. No, damn it. Alright. Well, even if you don't get the key dash, you can just do this and cancel it. Because this guy's going to be in iframes. And you're not even using. Oh, you don't have sword beams. Okay, yeah, then that's fine. Like chasing him down with the bow like that is about the fastest you can go. Did you? Okay, you did. All right. I don't really like that strat, but a lot of people do, so I'm not going to tell you not to do it. What I will tell you not to do, though, is boom the heart like that. You don't need to do that. You're almost at the end of the dungeon. You're not really in any danger of dying. And it doesn't save enough frames on the refill to actually be worth throwing the boomerang. I think a heart refill is 16 frames and a boom throw is 14. So you're not actually saving any time by doing that. All right. Just one little thing. So when you go up these auto stairs with your sword out, you're going to notice something here. Normally auto stairs don't give stair drag, but for some reason these ones do. So if you have your sword out here, you need to tap your boots to cancel stair drag here. That's the only thing I wanted to point out. It has something to do with entering auto stairs out of pit state. That it puts the stair drag at the top. Alright, we can just... Yeah, so essentially just hit him to the center of the room. We don't need to worry about the rest of that. Okay, actually, I'm gonna do this in parts. So that'll be the end of part 1. Part 2 is gonna go... What's the next half hour? So the hour mark is probably like swamp. So next part, we'll go from the pyramid to swamp, and then we'll probably just do till the end after that. Because this is going a little longer than I had planned. We're already at 94 minutes, so... Alright. We'll get back to the Dark World some other time.